good, everybody? I'm Jerry, about to check out the blueprint, how Jay-Z created a hip-hop masterpiece. This video is by Clout Cancun. Blueprint is definitely one of Jay-Z's top 3 albums of all time compared to Reasonable Doubt. I think Blueprint might be number 2. Reasonable Doubt, Blueprint, and I want to say Volume 2 might be his 3 best albums, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Y'all put down in the comments of what y'all favorite Jay-Z albums are. But I feel like when he hit Blueprint in 2001, he had Kanye West's productions on there, the samples that Kanye chose and the verses that Jay-Z came up with, created a masterpiece. And the album was actually released on 9/11, the exact same day, September 11, 2001. So we're about to hop into the videos and check out why the Blueprint is how Jay-Z created a masterpiece, hip-hop masterpiece. Let's go.
The year is 2001. The Los Angeles Lakers defeated the Philadelphia 76ers to win back-to-back NBA championships. Apple announced the first generation iPod. George W. Bush was sworn in as the 43rd president of the United States. And on September 11th, hijacked airplanes struck major locations across the country, causing tragic loss of life and permanently changed the nation. That same day, Jay-Z released his 6th album, The Blueprint. To understand how he reached this moment,
6 albums in 5 years.
Start of 2001.
Jay-Z was one of the most. He don't get the credit, but Jay-Z was one of the most consistent during that time. He was releasing albums from 1996 to 2003. He released 7 albums in 8 years. No, 8 albums in 7 years. Excuse me, 8 albums in 7 years. And I feel like no other rapper was touching him by the amount of consistency that he was pushing out material. Dead or Alive, 24/7, 365, one CD, 265,
which had been released in late 2000. Although it's officially a
that supposed to have been
album, it was
compilation
originally
album.
planned as a Rockefeller Records compilation album. Def Jam reportedly pushed the project to be under Jay-Z's name, so it would be easier to market and sell in stores. After songs like Guilty Until Proven Innocent and I Just Wanna Love You, Give It To Me were recorded, the project fully shifted into a Jay-Z album. Even then, it still felt like a compilation because of how heavily the Rockefeller roster appeared throughout the project. But for the Blueprint, Jay-Z took a different approach, with Eminem serving as the album's only credited feature. Jay-Z was in a different creative zone while recording the album, reportedly making most of it within 2 weeks. 9 tracks were allegedly completed in just 2 or 3 days, with Jay-Z laying down most of his vocals in a single take. But the recording process came during one of the most stressful periods of his life. While enjoying massive success as a rapper, helping build Rocawear into one of the biggest streetwear brands, and leading one of hip-hop's hottest labels, he was also facing the possibility of time behind bars after being arrested on a weapon possession charge near a New York nightclub in April of 2001. On top of that, Jay-Z was still dealing with the fallout from a 1999 incident involving Lance Rivera at a release party for Q-Tip's debut album, Amplified. Jay-Z believed that Lance was connected to the leak of Volume 3, Life and Times of S. Carter, before its release. Jay-Z ultimately pleaded guilty to misdemeanor assault and received 3 years of probation instead of facing a potential much harsher sentence. In the weapon possession case, Jay-Z's bodyguard took responsibility, leading to the charges against Jay-Z being dropped. There's speculation that Jay-Z was not actually the person who attacked Lance Rivera, with both Lance and Nas on his diss track Ether suggesting someone else was responsible. Regardless, both legal cases became an important part of the build-up of the Blueprint. Fans first got a taste of the album when Jay-Z premiered his own at the inaugural BET Awards in June of 2001. After the iconic performance, the song was released as a single and peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100. But just a week later, at the 2001 Summer Jam, Jay-Z changed the course of hip-hop by premiering his diss track aimed at Nas and Mobb Deep, known as Takeover.
When I was pushing weight back in '88, you was a ballerina. I got the pictures, I seen you.
During Takeover, Jay-Z famously put a childhood photo of Prodigy dressed as Michael Jackson on the Summer Jam screen. The photos that Jay used came from a dance program at Prodigy's grandmother's studio, the Bernice Johnson Cultural Arts Center in Queens, where Prodigy learned dance as a kid. It has long been rumored that it was none other than Ashanti who helped Jay-Z's camp get the photo, since she also attended the studio growing up and was signed to Murder Inc. Records, led by Jay-Z's longtime associate, Irv Gotti. To make the moment even bigger,
Michael Jackson
Jay-Z shocked the crowd by bringing out the actual Michael Jackson himself. The two were already friends, and after discussing music together, Jay-Z simply asked Michael to appear at Summer Jam, and he agreed. Jay had also appeared on the remix to Rock My World, while Michael provided uncredited vocals on the Blueprint, which I'll talk about later. According to Habit, Mobb Deep's issues with Jay-Z dated back to a line on his 1998 song, Money Cash Girls.
It's like New York's been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings. I'm trying to...
Prodigy did not appreciate Jay-Z claiming that New York had gone soft after Snoop Dogg crushed the buildings, which is a reference to the music video for New York, New York by the Dog Pound. But tensions rose when the group filmed the video in New York. According to multiple people, the Notorious B.I.G. called into Hot 97, telling Brooklyn residents where the shoot was happening. Not long after, someone reportedly opened fire on a trailer at the video shoot, which then inspired the decision to feature Snoop Dogg crushing the buildings in the music video. Prodigy felt that Jay-Z had no right to comment on the situation because he wasn't around when everything was happening, and he stayed quiet when Tupac dissed him. But the thing is that Jay-Z actually had a response prepared for Tupac and performed it once at the Apollo Theater, but it was never officially released due to Tupac's death in 1996. While this explains Jay-Z's issues with Mobb Deep, his main target was really Nas. The origins of their feud are still debated, with theories ranging from tensions involving Memphis Bleak, Nas refusing to redo the chorus for Dead Presidents, competition over the King of New York title, and Jay-Z's relationship with Nas's baby mother Carmen. In April of 2001, Nas told XXL that he was not worried about disses from Memphis Bleak or Beanie Siegel on the radio, and he claimed that he was still cool with Jay-Z despite rumors of tension. But just months later at Summer Jam, Jay-Z previewed Takeover, leading Nas to fire back with the Stillmatic freestyle.
Sample my voice, I ruled you before you used to rap like the Boots niggas. Nas designed a blueprint, who you kidding?
But before Jay-Z could respond with another diss, he had an even bigger issue to worry about. Earlier, I mentioned how Volume 3 Life and Times of S. Carter.
Imagine them two collaborating back then. Like, what would that the album, the sales of a single would be, or just a B-side single? What would that look like? A Jay-Z and a Nas collaboration in 2001, before the beef, if they didn't have beef.
Its official release. This is something that deeply frustrated Jay-Z. With the Blueprint, he tried his best to avoid the same thing happening again. The album originally had release dates of September 18th and September 25th before being pushed up to September 11th to combat bootlegging. Tragically, nobody knew the events that would unfold when Jay-Z moved up his album to September 11th. I was only about 5 months old during 9/11, so I don't personally remember it, but it's one of...
You were young. When that happened, I think I was 5. I don't even remember it happening.
Those moments that people say that they'll never forget. I heard countless stories from people describing the fear and shock they felt while watching the aftermath unfold on their TV screens. Jay-Z later recalled waking up in Los Angeles on September 11th and turning on the TV the scenes that he described as looking like an apocalyptic movie. He was in LA due to filming the music video for his single Girls, Girls, Girls. In response to 9/11, Jay-Z donated $1 from every ticket sold on the Blueprint tour towards relief efforts. The Blueprint ended up topping the Billboard 200 for 3 weeks, selling 427,000 copies in its first week, and was certified triple platinum by 2023. Jay-Z explained that the title The Blueprint came from his love of soul music, which his parents played while he was growing up and which heavily inspired the album's sound. During his feud with Nas, Nas accused Jay-Z of biting the title from KRS-One's 1989 album Ghetto Music, the blueprint of hip-hop. Takeover also samples KRS-One's song Sound of the Police, leaving fans to debate whether it was unintentional or Jay simply paying homage. The album cover itself was...
You see how back then it was rare for somebody to steal somebody else's album title or sample somebody else's music. Like, only time these days you turn on the radio, that's all you hear is constant samples of something that was already pushed out. Remakes, remixes, all that type of stuff. It's no originality these days like it was back then. And then back then, every rapper had a distinct flow and sound when it came to their style of rap. Everybody sounds the same these days.
Which is a photography series by UK photographer Jocelyn Bain Hogg, documenting gangsters in South London, with Jay-Z adding his own spin to create the now iconic artwork. The album starts with The Ruler's Back, which is a nod to rap legend Slick Rick, who has a sophomore album of the same name. Bink, the producer of the song, originally offered the beat to Black Rob or Loon as he made it at Diddy's studio. They did not take the beat, so it was then offered to Jay-Z. This is followed by Takeover, which was officially released when Jay-Z dropped the Blueprint in September of 2001.
Went from nasty Nas to Esco's trash, had a spark when you started, but now you just got.
When Jay-Z previewed Takeover at Summer Jam, the song was not fully finished. It wasn't until he heard Nas respond with Stillmatic Freestyle that he fully went at Nas and added more to the song. At Summer Jam, Jay-Z only performed the hook along with the first 2 verses of Takeover. The second verse mainly targets Mobb Deep, with Nas only being briefly mentioned at the end when Jay-Z claimed that Nas did not want any problems with him. The track was produced by Kanye West and samples a 1968 song by The Doors. In an interview, Kanye revealed that they initially had trouble clearing the sample from The Doors for Takeover. John Densmore, the drummer of The Doors, later admitted that he did not fully understand hip-hop at the time. To help clear the sample, Jay-Z personally wrote John a letter comparing hip-hop's rebellious spirit to what The Doors represented in their era, and even sent him a Def Jam t-shirt that he still owns to this day. The gesture worked. The sample was cleared and a mutual respect formed between the two. Most fans also don't realize that the version of Takeover that we hear today could have been slightly different.
And if it's sipping on something, say we have go. We getting bold, getting close, we have go.
This recreated version would have appeared on the album if the sample was not approved. Jay Dilla rapped over this version of the Takeover beat on his song We Have Dubbed. We Have Dubbed was intended for Jay Dilla's unreleased album Payday, which was planned for release around 2002 or 2003. However, the project remained unheard until it leaked in 2008, 2 years after his untimely death. Rest in peace to the late great Jay Dilla.
What happened?
Following Takeover is the track Izzo.
H to the Izzo,
V to the Izzy, but she's on my knees.
keep my home so crazy.
As I mentioned
Can't leave rap
Jay-Z
alone, they
premiered
gave needs
Izzo
me.
at the inaugural BET Awards in 2001. At first, he was not fully confident in the song since it was recorded early in the album sessions, and he originally had another track in mind as the lead single. But the crowd reaction after the performance locked in Izzo as the first single of the album. He felt the hook sounded too repetitive and too similar to his verses, which led to the idea of bringing in a female vocalist to help break things up. Jay-Z loved the suggestion, but it later resulted in legal issues when, I think it's Dime Uloa, sorry if I mispronounced that, sued for compensation and credit over her contribution to the track. Jay-Z's legal team argued that she only provided backing vocals and should be compensated like a session singer. An injunction was even filed to stop sales of the album, and Izzo, though a New York judge denied it and the case was eventually settled. Izzo was produced by Kanye West, who was still a few years away from releasing his debut album.
Kanye was still producing.
My mom said, "Mom, we got to make it. We really gonna make it this time. It's about to be on now."
Izzo became a
That's how
huge
hungry
moment for
Kanye
Kanye because it helped establish him as a major producer with his first real breakout hit on the charts. He was shocked when Jay-Z premiered the song at the BET Awards. However, Cameron and Dipset were not happy because, according to them, Kanye had originally sold them the beat for Izzo. Cameron was reportedly so upset that he took the beat for Old Boy away from Jay-Z, which added more tension between the two.
Cause Jay did a freestyle, or he left the open verse on a remix of Old Boy or something like that. It was either a freestyle or an open verse. Since they had beef, but it was beef between Kanye and Jay-Z. Cameron and Jay-Z. Cam took the verse off and left it with the original.
Izzo famously samples I Want You Back by the Jackson 5, led by Michael Jackson. This was also the song that Jay-Z performed before bringing Michael out at Summer Jam. But Izzo is followed by Girls, 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 which was the second single for the album. It peaked at number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100 and is certified gold.
Featuring Biz Markie.
This song was produced by Just Blaze, who originally created the beat with Ghostface Killah in mind after being inspired by his 2000 album Supreme Clientele. Years later, Just Blaze told Ghostface about the beat's origin, and Ghostface admitted that he always felt that it sounded like something made tailored to him. Since Just Blaze had no direct connection to Ghostface, the beat eventually went to Jay-Z after Jay-Z requested soulful production for the album. The hook features contributions from rap legends Q-Tip, Biz Markie, and Slick Rick. Girls, Girls, Girls is followed by Jigga That, the album's third single, which peaked at number 66 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Bag of Hershey in the city. I might take sips of Army with a chick. I'm so sick with it.
This track was produced by the Trackmasters, who revealed the beat was originally meant for Nori before being handed to Jay-Z. But You Don't Know follows this. Once again, Just Blaze produced another banger.
Down like this Wall Street home, but this is worse than the Dow Jones. Your brains are down.
When talking about this track, Jay-Z described how competitive Kanye West and Just Blaze were during the making of the Blueprint. Both producers constantly tried to out.
Just thought about it. Top 3 Jay-Z albums for me is Reasonable Doubt, The Blueprint, and the Black Album. I don't know how I forgot about the Black Album. The Black Album, top 3 amongst those I just named. Just Blaze is hella underrated. You don't even hear about Just Blaze no more.
Do each other to impress Jay-Z, and many people even mixed up their production styles. Jay-Z himself thought that Girls, Girls, Girls sounded like something that Kanye would produce. Bink was also highly competitive as well because he wanted an equal share of placements on the album as them. For You Don't Know, Just Blaze reportedly remade the beat 2 or 3 times before he felt it was just right. Even though You Don't Know is considered one of the album's best tracks, Just Blaze still felt that he could do more with it, which is why he later revisited the song on the Blueprint 2. Just Blaze wanted to make the song bigger by adding harder drums and more bass. There was also a belief that not featuring MOP on the original track was a huge missed opportunity, which was corrected on the remix. He also revealed that You Don't Know was originally intended for Busta Rhymes and Prodigy, which is interesting considering Prodigy's issues with Jay-Z at the time. Hola Jovito follows as the album's 7th track.
Vatos locos got rap in the choco, and I won't surrender it with beats by Timbaland.
Timbaland produced this track, continuing his long-time run of hits with Jay-Z. By that point, the two had already created classics.
Hey, that Hey Poppy. Y'all just gotta be there. I love Jay-Z's third verse on that song. Classic. Big Pimpin' too.
Like Hey Poppy, Big Pimpin', and Jigga What, Jigga Who. So it's by no surprise that they struck gold once again with Hola Jovito. Jay also got help from his close friend Juan Perez, aka OG Juan, who has had a long-running relationship with Jay-Z. Since Juan is Dominican, he helped Jay-Z with some of the Spanish that was used on the track. Ain't No Love, Heart of the City follows next.
Ain't no
this
love
is another certified
in the heart of the city. Somebody got a problem with hope.
Once again, this is another Jay-Z track that was initially not made for him in mind. On Kanye's song Last Call for his debut album, The College Dropout, he details this.
One beat for him. See, I play Harder City. Really, I made Harder City. I really wanted to get that beat to DMX.
So yes, DMX was originally who Kanye West had in mind for the song before eventually giving it to Jay-Z. On Last Call, Kanye also shared that after moving to Newark,
I wonder how it would have sounded if X was on there. That's one of those big what ifs. Because Jay killed Heart of the City. I wonder what it would sound like if X was on there, man. Would it still have that same feel? Would it would have been a single or just something on the album? Who knows?
Jersey, Heart of the City was the first beat that he made in his new apartment. He later revealed that R. Kelly originally sang the hook, and Jay even considered making the song the lead single before the success of Izzo changed those plans. Kanye also produced the next track, Never Change, which samples David Ruffin's 1973 classic, Common Man.
Lost 92 bricks, had to fall back.
One of Jay-Z's
Knocked the nigga off his feet, but I crawled back.
In the second verse of this song, where he references losing 92 bricks
during his
drug-dealing days. Over the years, many people questioned the legitimacy of this story, but Jay-Z later clarified that he was referring to losing $92,000 that he had to earn back. Song Cry is the album's 10th track and final single from the Blueprint. It was also the only single from the album that failed to chart on the Billboard Hot 100.
Wow. A classic like that? That's crazy. I gotta make this song cry.
In an interview with Bill Maher, Jay-Z explained that Song Cry was inspired by 3 different relationships combined into one character. He said many people don't realize that he spent much of his life in long-term relationships, including one with a girl from Long Island and another woman named Fanny. Jay-Z recalled venting to Fanny about his frustrations with the music industry while supporting her financially with an apartment in Brooklyn. However, he admitted that he was more focused on making it as a rapper than fully committing to the relationship. Even though Song Cry was released in 2001, the emotions behind the song had been with him since Fanny left him and returned home to Virginia. As the album enters its final stretch, All I Need is one of the next tracks to appear.
I guess I got my swagger back. Mama that said I killed the man. Well, I guess I got the dagger back.
This song was produced by Bink, who originally created the beat for Non-Brigade, a rap group from Philadelphia.
All I need is the bling a little. Let me sing it with you.
There's some controversy surrounding how All I Need ended up in Jay-Z's hands. Oskino of State Property has long claimed that Jay-Z took the song from Non-Brigade along with other ideas from artists on Rockefeller Records. Non-Brigade was not signed to Rockefeller Records. Instead, they were signed to Elektra Records. Members of the group later explained that their A&R at the time was Jay Brown, who would later become a co-founder of Rock Nation. Producer Bink said another A&R from Rockefeller named Kiyambo Hip Hop Joshua repeatedly tried to buy the song, and after the death of Non-Brigade member Q Don, it eventually went to Jay-Z. In interviews, Non-Brigade said that Jay-Z did reach out to them and that they were properly compensated through publishing and other payments. The album's second to last track
Renegade.
was Renegade, featuring Eminem.
Do you listen to music or do you just skim through it?
Along with featuring on the song, Eminem also produced the beat.
The same dude you gave nothing made something doing what I do.
But instead, he told them
Y'all
that he
went
already
outside
had
there.
a beat ready to go. Jay-Z recorded his verse before even hearing Eminem's verse because the two.
It's crazy how all of his peers say that Eminem killed them on that verse. And that's saying something. Eminem had one of the craziest verses on that song. I think it's just for that time. But Jay held his own on both verses he had.
Eminem recorded in Detroit while Jay-Z was in New York City. For years, fans have debated who had the better verse on Renegade. This conversation got out of control after Nas claimed on Ether that Eminem lost Jay-Z on his own song. Jay-Z himself has even admitted that Eminem may have gotten better of him on Renegade. The track serves as a response to both of their critics, with Jay-Z addressing criticism about glorifying his street past, while
I'm a
Eminem
renegade, never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time
Once
of day,
again,
cause I'm a
originally the
renegade
song was not intended for Jay-Z
about
at all.
anything.
It was first created for Royce the 5'9".
Black and white. Joe Jackson and Ike. We renegades. Listen and talk to these kids.
When discussing the track, Royce the 5'9" explained that he recorded it while signed to Sony Music, with Eminem serving as the executive producer for his album. However, Interscope Records would only clear Eminem for one feature, and since they were searching for a single, Rock City was chosen instead. Royce the 5'9" explained that he and Eminem ultimately chose not to use their original version of what would become Renegade because they felt that they had already made similar back and forth style songs together. What made the track work better for Jay-Z was the contrast between his style and Eminem, which
how
gave
life
the
works
song
out like that, how
completely
God
different
works out
feel.
like that.
Before handing the track over, Eminem checked in with Royce first, and Royce had no issues with giving it to Jay-Z. The rest is history.
I bet he wish he could have kept it.
The album closes with the outro track, Blueprint, Mama Loves Me. On the song, Jay-Z reflects on his difficult childhood and pays tribute to the people in his life he admires most. But the album does not actually end there, because the Blueprint contains 2 hidden tracks on the CD version. To hear them, listeners had to let Blueprint, Mama Loves Me play all the way through.
Dang.
After several seconds of silence, the first hidden track, Breathe Easy, Lyrical Exercise, begins to play.
I'm focused, man, and I'm not afraid of death. I'm going all out. I circle the vultures in the van, and
Just Blaze explained that by the time the artwork and track list for the Blueprint were finalized and sent out, Jay-Z still had not finished the song.
I didn't even know he had 2 extra hidden tracks on the album.
At that point, Jay-Z only had 1 verse recorded, and he did not complete the track until after the album packaging had already been submitted.
Wow.
This is why the song became a hidden track instead of appearing on the official track list. The second and final hidden track is Girls, Girls, Girls Part 2.
try it, girl.
Just
your number on this paper.
Girls, Girls, Girls Part 2 was produced by Kanye, and in my opinion, it's even better than the original version. And even Just Blaze has admitted that Kanye's beat was stronger than his own. This track also features uncredited vocals from Michael Jackson, something that Just Blaze later confirmed after discovering the rare vocals while searching through a server. Kanye also recorded his own version over the beat, which in my opinion is the best version of them all.
Well, I'm in the club for a limited time only. Two-way your phone me if you trying to phone me.
And just like that, we come to the end of this album. The Blueprint is considered to not just be one of Jay-Z's best albums, but one of the best rap albums of all time.
The best rap albums in history, yeah.
Top to bottom,
classic album.
It's a very strong album during the prime of his career. It's truly a moment of time. And in 2019, it was actually added to the Library of Congress archives. It's one of 12 rap albums to have this honor. But all in all, let me know what you guys thought of the video.
That's
what
crazy.
album I should cover next. I love you guys with all my heart. Peace.
Do the Machiavelli Dark Illuminati album. Alright, y'all, that was a great video, man. Let me know down below in the comments of what y'all thought of my reaction to this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.